Mountains around there. If you have never been to Caslow, BC, it's something you've got to put on your map. All the way from Caslow, BC, come up here, Spencer. You're welcome. Knock it down.
Check. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Caslow, BC. And a friend and I were at the Kokanee Glacier Park the other day. And they're very cautious to warn you about the presence of bears before you go in this park. They even give you this brochure, how to avoid contact with bears. You know. And I don't know who comes up with this information, but some of it is some pretty useless information, let me tell you. Like, it actually says in there, when selecting a picnic site, try to avoid fresh bear droppings. There's some good advice, eh? You're going to be walking along. Oh, hey, honey. Hey, why don't we throw the picnic blanket down by these fresh bear droppings, eh? Yeah, hey, that makes a dandy cup holder. Oh yeah, no, don't worry about the fish, just throw them in the tent there. I mean, how stupid do they think we are? Yeah, oh, and if a bear is attacking you, never run, they say. No, a predator like that can smell fear. If that bear's chasing up after me, he's going to be smelling a lot more than fear, let me tell you. So everyone's having a good time tonight? I see a lot of drinks out here. Right on. A lot of beer, a lot of wine, some mixed drinks. No? Never met a drink I didn't like. Except for actually one friend of mine used to always drink this. He used to drink beer and Clamato. What kind of an Addams Family psycho beverage is that? You know, Clamato? I just can't, whoever invented that, that's what I'd like to know. You know, I just can't see it. Some guy drinking a tomato juice, he's like, you know, needs fish. You know, beer I can understand. Beer's a good drink, eh? Right? Actually, I found out though that I had to quit drinking beer because I found out that I'm allergic. And I drink 10 or 12, I puke. Every time. So I'm here with my lovely wife, and we've been married 13 years now. So that's a number you don't want to forget, eh? 13. 13 years we've been married. Anniversaries are really important. Like, you don't want to forget. Here's a little advice for some of you single guys out there. When you get married, don't forget your anniversary, okay? Get married on your birthday, that's what I say. Okay? Because this is a really blessed occasion, and you don't want to miss it. Because I had a hard time with anniversaries, so I'm telling you this through experience. Like, first off, the first anniversary is paper, right? So naturally, I assumed the next two are rock and scissors, right? But apparently I was wrong, judging by my wife's reaction, you know? Like, honey, come on. Hey, I know it's a rock, it's tradition. Come on, hey, next year you get a pair of scissors. Come on. And when we got married though, my wife and I, when we got our first house, I didn't realize that there was a race for closet space. You know, we got our first place, she goes rushing in, just takes it all. Takes all the closets, she's got all these clothes, I got nothing, I get the doorknob, that's what I get. You know? And every day she stands in front of that closet, and she says the same thing. She says, I have nothing to wear. You know, I'm standing there holding my suit, you know, because she's got her stuff on my doorknob. And it's time to go out. I finally get a chance to get dressed up, you know, get all dressed up. She makes fun of me. She's like, oh, look at you. Your suit's all wrinkled. Well, I keep it in the medicine cabinet, thank you very much. I'm lucky though. My wife and I, we get along great. We hardly ever argue. Actually, the only thing we ever argue about is who's older. See, because I'm 11 days older than her. Okay, but her argument is that I was born a month premature. So therefore, she was conceived before me, right? But I have 11 days more life experience. So I'm older. I like to remind her of that too, you know, if we ever get in an argument at all. I like to tell her, hey honey, no, you just wait. You just wait till you're my age. Yeah, the wisdom, the maturity, I tell you. Yeah, you just give it a couple of weeks. Married 13 years and 4 kids. 4 kids. Yeah, that's a lot of kids, eh? Thank you. Well, this small town, there's nothing else to do but make babies. Once you have 4 kids, free time is a thing of the past. Okay? So we quit having kids. And so now my wife says, well, we need to get a pet. She says, it would be perfect. The kids should learn responsibility. We need a pet. So we should get a cat. Let's get a cat. So I'm like, well, okay, so fine, we get a cat. Eh? But I tell you, I hate this cat. This cat has such an attitude. Like, this cat walks around the house just like it owns the place, you know? Like, I'm sure that this cat honestly thinks that it owns the house, and it's just allowing us to live there. Like, I fully expect to go home after this, you know, be going home. Hey, let me get stupid cat. Come on. So it's an inside cat too, right? So we gotta have the litter box, eh? So we got the litter box. We got the litter box in the living room of all places. I hate that litter box. Sitting there trying to watch a movie, eh? Eating popcorn, look over, there's the cat. Not a pretty sight, eh? So my wife, she finds out, she says, oh, this newest thing, you gotta see this. This is the greatest thing ever. What it is it's a type of litter box, and it goes on the toilet. Okay, so, and what you do is every week a different section of it comes apart and comes off of there until there's nothing left, and the cat is eventually just going on the toilet, right? I said, well, this is really a great idea. Hey, there's 6 of us in the house, 1 bathroom, you know, and not a cat. So there's me in the morning, I'm like, hey, stupid cat. Now I gotta go use the litter box. Which is really embarrassing too when company comes over, they're like, what the hell? You got a cougar in here?
Gross.
So married 13 years, it's important to keep the romance going in a relationship though, eh? You gotta keep the old spark going. Though, any of you guys ever have this happen to you? You ever have your wife one day brings home one of those sex books? Huh? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Brock knows what I'm talking about. So my wife brings home this book. It's entitled, How to Please Your Wife and Have Her Beg for More. Thanks for the ego stroke there, honey. Yeah, thank you. So she goes out shopping, I'm at home, and I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm a modern kind of guy, you know, I'll read the book, and when she comes home, a little bit of magic. So I'm looking at this book, eh? And there is some erotic descriptions, positions, and even photographs. I tell you, my wife comes home an hour later expecting great sex, and I'm finished. No, I couldn't possibly. Hey, and when you're going shopping, I gotta plan my weekend. So, little town of Caslow is where I'm from, that's right. I'm here representing Jones Boys, and from, like Brock said, a small town in Caslow. Not even a town, village, hamlet, how much smaller can we go? It's really, really small. People say to me, oh, I try to explain it. People say to me, you live up in the boonies. And I say, no, the boonies is where we travel to go shopping. This is really small. There's 1,000 people in Caslow. Well, actually 998, because Fred and Martha moved away last weekend. So we got 998 people there, right? And so we don't have nothing really. We don't have much in town. We don't have city police or anything like that. We do have RCMP station there. So we got 2 cops, and actually we only need 1, but he got too lonely, so we had to bring in another one. So we got these 2. So we got this new cop in, and I just had the opportunity to talk with him just last week, and he was telling me about some of the differences. See, apparently, well, he was stationed in Toronto before Caslow. So he says that there's quite a difference, believe it or not. So he says in Caslow, he's just learning. There's a whole new investigative technique that he's got going on now, eh? He said, for example, just the other day in Caslow, he got called to an assault charge. And so he's interviewing the victim. And he says to him, could you describe your assailant? And he says, yeah, he was Dwayne. So now the cop's got to go down to the bar, you know, goes walking in there, Dwayne, come on, man, like, meet me in the cop shop in an hour, I'm going for lunch. True story about crime in Caslow, though. A friend of mine's the baker there, and so he's got to work these god-awful hours, so he's up in the middle of the morning, middle of the night, and about 4 in the morning on a snowy winter morning, he's out brushing the snow off his car, when all of a sudden the police officer comes walking up, eh? And he's like, hey officer, what's going on? He says, well, there was just a break-in downtown, so I'm just following the tracks. So, kind of a whole new way of following up your investigative leads, eh? CSI Caslow. Oh, there he goes. Hey, this way. Hey, wake up the new guy. Tell him to bring his dog. So that's what he did. He just followed the tracks. The tracks led right to the guy's house. He opens the door. The guy's sitting at his kitchen table counting the money. Officer's like, Dwayne. I would rather take my family fishing in our Explorer than shopping at the mall. I would rather catch the sunset in my Chase than chase the sunset on the expressway. I would rather soak up the rays on the sun lounge than cram myself in a tanning booth. I would rather chart my own course in my Explorer than follow the crowd to the park. I would rather cannonball off the back of my Alante than soak in the tub. I would rather fall asleep being rocked by the waves than snooze in front of the TV. I would rather make memories than reservations because I would rather be in my Campion. Have a great night.
Thank you, Spencer. That was just